Welcome to Great Talking Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where I review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics and DC Comics and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Now let's go, baby. Welcome back, everyone, as I continue on the new Netflix series, Eric. And this is episode 4, spoiler review. So, again, you can either watch the whole show and then come watch my whole spoiler review, or you can go episode by episode. But whatever you choose, the choice is yours. But it's going to be a spoiler review. So, y'all been warned. Let's get into it. The episode 4 reveals that the little boy actually followed a homeless guy from the footage that the detective found, and he's actually protecting Eager. And as we continue on through this, we see Cassie's life kind of crumble down too as well. But Cassie finally tells Vincent that they're breaking up, and she tells him that she's pregnant, and it's Sebastian's, that's the food truck guy that she was having an affair with, and that he's the father. And I mean, it was nuts. I mean, Vincent went nuts. He was pissed. I mean, you could see the anger. And that's when Cassie realizes that Vincent is talking to the imaginary character Eric, and she realizes that, and she asked him about it, but she just wanted him out, and so he left, and it was just nuts. Now, as that's going on, we see the detective is still battling with keeping Marlon's name alive, and wants to reopen this case because he feels like this is heavily connected to Eager's kidnap, as he still does not realize that the boy is with one of the homeless men who we can't really get a good description on. I can't really find him, but I have a feeling that he's not a bad person. I think they're just going to portray him as in until they get onto episode 6, probably. That's what I think. But he's down there, but the detective doesn't know that yet. And there's this homeless woman who told her drug dealer that she has a young person. And the way they're doing this, portraying this homeless drug dealer, who also works at that club that the detective goes to, they're indicating that he's somewhat of a pedophile and that he likes them young. And he goes, well, if you can pay, then she don't owe him money no more. And then what we're seeing is more of the political story and the drug smuggling story combined. And this is not really super connected to the parents and the child of Eric, the show of Eric. And this is somewhat, as they would say, the bigger picture, but this one's starting to feel somewhat of a filler, but I'm not complaining. I don't think all filler episodes are bad. I think this is the part through episode 4 where they're really trying to expand the bigger picture, like I said earlier, and this is just one way of them trying to do that. They're trying to set up the tone for the next 2 episodes of how it's going down. Now we know that Eager's safe, he's still alive, and he's not actually kidnapped. We also know that the club and people within that club may be connected to the boy, Eager. But the question is, now who's going to find the boy first? The detectives and the parents, or is the people within that club that the drug dealer that the homeless woman is talking to, who's going to get the boy first. And that's now it's the race is on. And we're seeing this. So, and you remember I told you that there's a garbage company that's smuggling, I can't say the drug's names, but it's a very narcotic drug, and they're smuggling it through shipments and stuff. So now the pictures is showing us what's going around the environment of New York in the 80s. The next scene goes to Vincent just waiting for George, and George shows up and invites him in his little apartment, and they're just talking, they're having conversations, and you notice that Vincent is fiending for alcohol. Like he even asked to have the last sip, and even George knew, but he just gave him the last bit of that alcohol in that bottle. And then George takes Vincent down to the boiler room where Vincent realizes all those little drawings on the walls is like a map of New York. And the map and Vincent believes that this map could help find him, and this gives him hope. He even shows the detective, but it doesn't seem like that. But Detective Michael went to see Wilson to further investigation and asked him if he was alone with the boy, and of course he says no, and he claims that Wilson claims that he didn't do it, or it wasn't that big of a deal per se, I guess. And he's just trying to get more, and the detective finally got something out of him, and he got a name called Ricardo, and that's something that he needed. And the detective sees the missing, that all the tapes are missing, but luckily his assistant didn't destroy him, and she reveals that she figured out his secret, that he has a secret lover for another man at the time. And she seems cool with it. She says I believe she says she has a brother or a cousin. And of course she said some words that we probably shouldn't be saying. And she knew that. And she also revealed that she knew the wife of the police officer who got hit by the car, and they still haven't figured out what did that too. And of course they meet, and she tells him what she knows about her husband, and she knew some guys from that garbage company, and the men from that garbage company, earlier when the detective went over there to do some investigation, they beat up one of their own guys, not the cops or the detectives, but one of the garbage employees beat one of their guys, got him drunk. And he seemed, a little different, but they were so mad because, again, this garbage company is dealing some narcotic drugs. Also in this episode, the detective gets a call about his boyfriend or his lover, Elliot, and he gets called to the hospital, and he finds out that he passed away. And in this episode, Igor really feels alone because of his parents too. Doesn't realize how much danger he's in. And that's how that episode really ended. Now let's talk about what happened, what's going on with the detective. So his lover passed away, and the thing was it's AIDS, I believe. And now we're seeing, again, the detective is the hero of this show, in a sense. And then Vincent is not the villain, but he's the victim. He's the one that's in trouble, and the detective's trying to save his life, his family's life, and and just how society is the main villain of this whole show. It's not the political character Jerry Litzen, who is also saying, because in this political story, that they're going to clean up the homeless. And what they're saying is they're going to force them all out of the subway and push them out somewhere else. But and the reason why the reason why they added that too in the story is, again, they're trying to show you in this episode that people, little kids, can get missing because of how the environment was and how people are being treated, and how much a lot of narcotic drugs are being used, because they show different type of drugs in here, which I'm not going to say their name again just for the rules of YouTube. But there's a lot of drugs involved, and there's a lot of pedophile things going on within this. So it's yes, they're trying to tell you that, like, this kid was in danger because of the environment of this time and year and era. And that's the point they're trying to make within this episode. Because the detective is in trouble too, as well. Like, he wants to do the right thing, but he's got nobody to back him up. We don't know who's on his side. For right now, it just feels like all the police and detectives are on the opposite side of Detective Michael's view of doing the right thing. And so that's where that, because, like, Marlon, he's a boy that we see his mom just has not give up. We even interact where Cassie and the other boy's mom interact, and she's dealing with the fact that they're not really trying to find her son because of the color of her skin, and that the fact that they know that that child has taken some narcotic drugs before, and then he wasn't like a Boy Scout, and that's the reason why they not wanting to reopen the case. But if they did, this will help find the boy Eager more, is that's what the detective's believing. And again, they don't know that Eager just chose to hang out with the homeless. And we see like the dynamic between that homeless man and Eager too. Like, it's kind of like they understand each other, and maybe Eager just needed a friend, and so the homeless guy is somewhat becoming his friend, and he's trying to tell him, like, friend to friend, like, life is tough, like, everything's not perfect, right? And because he doesn't have a good relationship with his dad, but he loves his mom. And with Vincent, I think that he is battling his demons and he's trying to do the right thing, but so far his demons are beating him at it. He's weak. When he starts fiending for drugs and alcohol, he's not right. Like, and everybody knows that. I mean, his parents even, to offer rehab to him before, get him back on medication. Like, I can tell his mom loves him, but she's very hard on him. And his dad he puts him in his place, because you got to think about it. He's mad that somebody's trying to fire him from his own creation, kick him out of his own show. He's also mad at the fact that his best friend is willing to do that, Wilson. And it's like, if it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have successful, because Vincent is more creative. He knows how to make puppets. He does all this. I mean, they're going to make an ugly looking puppet. Like, what the heck? To Eric, the imaginary character that the boy made and that Vincent sees. But other than that, if I had to give this a 1 out of 10, I'm going to give this a 7. Again, I feel like they're focusing way too much now on the side stories, and this one was more concerned about the political side, which is fine. You know, it's great. It's a thing, and I get it. They're trying to set up the last 2 episodes to probably just be more on it, but I feel like they could have shortened that down and got straight to the point and could have told more about them looking for the boys, or even Marlon. I think they could have really done more to that story and figured some stuff out more. I think it's more interesting to see the main story of how this goes versus the side stories are great, but we didn't need that much detailed to the side stories, to me, is what I'm saying. But not a big complaint. It was still great. I think all the actors and actresses are putting on one good performance, and this show is really good. I wish it wasn't a limited series, but it is. But it's so good. I really enjoying it so far, and man, it's such a beautiful artistic story that it's just enjoyable to watch. Like, and I'm always ready to see the next episode. So, because this show had me like really, my eyeballs were glued on the screen for this. Like, I could not stop watching. I mean, detail to detail, I was paying attention. This is the type of show that can just you'll sit there and you'll try to figure out how it's gonna be played out in your head. Like, that's how good it is to me. So I'm giving a 7. So that's my review. Now, thank you guys so much for continuing on and listen to my spoiler review. I hope you guys enjoyed that show, Eric. And I definitely want to hear your guys' opinion and thoughts of the show in the comments below. So go ahead, leave a comment. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment Official channel. Subscribe and hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys, and peace